perhaps it's not a detour or a distraction, but more so like a guide on a journey. Like, you ever went on, like, they have bike tours to see a city, to explore a new city, or the double-decker buses in order to explore new areas. But there's a guide. There's someone on that tour that's guiding you and just pointing out things that you should know, and things that'll be a delight for your memory, like a snapshot of a picture. And I'm realizing that as much as I want what I want, as in dreams and hopes and desires, and I feel like it's not a distraction so much as like the way it came to me was, it was as if my paternal and maternal matriarchs just took my hand. Almost like when you hold a child's hand, when a child holds your hand, they can only really hold your finger, or like two fingers, because their hands are so small. That's exactly what it had felt like, and that's what it was shown to me in my mind's eye. And as much as I miss my city, and I'm so far away from my city, it's as if my paternal grandmother showed me the woes of her heart. It's as if my paternal aunt showed me the delight of her youth. And now to be so far away from the city, and I couldn't understand why. I don't want to say I couldn't understand why I felt my maternal grandmother around me so much, because I always usually do, but this time it was even more intense than before when I got down here. And it's almost like it was a guide, and she was showing me her highlights, her love. And it's as if you have God dwelling in you, of course. You have the Holy Spirit dwelling in you, of course. But it's like you're unlocking your DNA, or you are able to read your family's records. It's as if each woman wants you to know what it was like to be her, to live in her shoes, to wear her apron, to wear her hats, her Sunday hats, like to put on her minks for her Sunday dinners, my other grandmother would wear that, but because they're in a colder climate, but to know what it was like to slip your feet in her shoes. And this time you're not a little girl, you're a grown woman, so the shoe is not as roomy as it was before, when you were play dress up and wear her dresses and her wigs and her hats and everything like that, and not so much as mock her, and not so much as imitate her in a way where it's a disgrace or disrespect, but a horn of admiration. And now when I think back to not even being near my nieces and how crazy that is for me, but the need of wanting to play dress up in my spaces and wear my shoes, and I get it. And being this grown, ripe age, I can't even imagine what any of my grandmothers have been through during their time frame, and still being able to strive and achieve what it is that they had set out to achieve. And I'm pretty sure there's some dreams that they still didn't get to actually conquer, but that's what this has felt like a journey into what their lives was like, and how they cried, and how they felt, and the love that they had. And at times I couldn't understand why I was feeling the way that I was feeling, and I just thought, I'm getting older and I'm maturing. But it's as if these ladies have taken space up within me and dwell in me, and it's a beautiful remembrance. And it's like it makes you think about, like, when I would spend time with, before I had fully, like, really moved in with my paternal grandmother, even though I was still back home, back and forth. But when I was just visiting. My mother would say, oh, you have to go visit. You need to go make sure you spend time with them. And I would be there just for like the weekends, and then they'd drive me back home on Sunday. And it was a different space, a different energy to be around them, but it was also beautiful and vibrant. And I noticed like this grandma really didn't cook like that, so we went out to breakfast, lunch, and dinner like in the city all the time, because we lived in the city and it was very metropolitan. And then when I would come down here for the summers, and this grandma knows that my favorite meal is spaghetti, so she always had that ready as soon as we got here. And learning how she prepared it, the way that she did, the different things, the spices that she added to it, and the way how her and my grandfather was with each other, and how she was with each grandchild and even with her own children. And now to be soaking up in her space, and it's very respectful in remembrance and memory and admiration. But on a soul level, it's as if she interlocked with my soul and taught me things that I didn't even knew that I needed to learn. And it's beautiful, because now it makes me think about how it was when all these ladies were alive, and how it is that now that, well, not all of them are gone, but my grandma saw, and how it is now that they're gone and they're still there. And I know they say, oh no, that's not that, and this is blasphemy, but even if the vessel can't appear to you, the love is still there. It has a lingering. It's like when you are savoring your favorite meal, and it even though the meal is done, and I got to go back to spaghetti because it's my favorite meal, and it's like you take your garlic bread or garlic knot and you swipe it right across the rest of the sauce that's remaining on the plate. It's that savor in the back of your throat, in the back of your tongue, where you know that the meal is so good. You know you can't eat another plate because you're full. But that savoring, it leaves a lingering. It's like you're not even really ready to drink anything, because you don't want to take away from the lingering that's left on your taste buds. And that's what the essence of these matriarchs feel like. It's this lingering effect of strength and love and just bad A's, like just out here, like doing what they're doing, and making things happen, and building families, and building legacies. And it's just so beautiful. And even through like my own struggles and my own woes and all the other stuff that you have to go through just to get to the level that you want to be for yourself and what you want for yourself, it's like at a second you get to kind of turn back around and look at how far you have come. So I appreciate it. Like, I don't know, it's like being home in the city and then like running back over to my mother's, and not like discontinuing anything that my mother do. Like, she's amazing, the way that she is so spicy and strong and intelligent and vibrant and boisterous, and just her, and it's dope. And it's not like to say that there was no pain, that there's no woes, that there's no stress, but it's like a need and a wanting for forgiveness, because you want everyone to heal. And I was watching some films yesterday, and I don't have any children, but it kind of helped me to understand why I've experienced the things I've experienced with the matriarchs and patriarchs within my family. And it's this need of wanting to protect. And I guess because maybe I didn't see my light that like that, because you're in your body, you're not paying attention to what is within you, but these individuals have lived life and they can see it. So it's a need of wanting to, I don't want to say make a mockery of it, but when you are the only, it's like somebody is like a swan has a whole bunch of white swans that she gives birth to, but then there's just one yellow swan or one pink swan or one black swan. And there's woes that's going to come with that, with you being different from the rest of the litter, the rest of the bunch. But at the same time, there's this this mild level of appreciating how unique and different others are. And I believe it pops out throughout the bloodline, as the lineage continues to grow. But in the same sense, these individuals, like, when if I can say that there was a moral for what I was watching yesterday, even though they were by all different people and all different walks of life, the directors and everyone else, and some were animated films, and yes, I love animated films, but some were like actual real films. And it's just that you get to choose, you know like, you get to choose which path you want to take. Like, even if someone wants you there because of your light, your essence, your space, your everything that is you still get to choose. And it's the courage of doing that. So when I look at these ladies in my bloodline who have passed on and some that are still here, they made these amazing, beautiful choices. And I think back to all the stories, and either the ones that was gut-wrenching stories that were horrific and sad, and ones that were full of so much joy and so much light. And it's like, you want to live on for them. You want to continue to build brick by brick, tier by tier for them. And I don't know, maybe that's the point of it. Because no matter what color of the flesh that you're wrapped in, it's still a woman. And it's not easy. It's not easy. And then when I look at men, either straight or non-straight men, and I believe that there is a admiration for women also, even though a majority of the time sometimes it could come off as just ways of trying to hurt a woman. But I honestly feel that these people, like, these people, I honestly feel like these men and other, individuals, I'll just say, present that hurt, project that hurt, because hurt people hurt people. And I've been saying this for so long, that when you can't heal, it doesn't matter who you tie your lasso to. Like, it doesn't matter who you connect with. At the end of the day, if you're not healed and that individual's not healed, there is some crazy chaotic storms that's going to be dealt with within you too. And how great would it be to actually be with someone who's healed and you're healed? So just do the work, like, appreciate how far you have came, appreciate the storms and all the horrible things that you have survived and how you are thriving within it, and just do the work so that you can raise your vibrations. You can raise your frequency, you can raise your mindset, you can continue to build and achieve greatness. Because honestly, at the end of the day, for anything to want to come in and take hold to you, you have to be on a very low vibrational frequency in order for them to be able to have the aspect of interlocking with your mind and having that level of control over you. You have to play in the devil's playground and enjoy what you have discovered. And I think that's how he kind of does it. He pulls you in by curiosity. Yeah, curiosity off the cat, but he pulls you in by curiosity, and then he gives you this falsity a false light of security and love. It almost reminds me like with a gang. Like, come here, we're a brotherhood, we're a sisterhood. Like, we're gonna do these things for you. And in a sense, it's false, because it's never what you really want, which is family. And I believe that's why he calls out to the young that are broken, and even the old that are broken, even the mature that are broken. Because if you're broken in a sense where you can't find a way to heal, and now I'm thinking Humpty Dumpty, and put all your pieces back together, even if it is cracked, even if it is Gorilla glue that you're using, even if so, like, it's still back in a formation that you can still do what you need to do and function. So, and I had a friend say to me, when I said to him one time, after the amount of pain that I had endured, and I said, this individual broke me. And he was like, no, Marque, you're not broken. Well, he never used to call me Marque by my full name, but he's like, you're not broken. You're just a little, you're just a little shattered. You're just a little cracked, but you're just a little cracked. You're not broken. And I'm like, perhaps he's right, because he knows me so well. So I was like, you're right. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, thank you. I would take that and put that in my pocket and continue my journey. But yeah, like, all of this essence of where you come from, your lineage, your bloodline, the strength that the women in your family have endured and continue to go forth in, and you just going forth and like kicking down doors and building the table that you want for yourself, and literally accomplishing so much is so dope and so amazing and so beautiful. So when I look at it and I'm like, okay, this is femininity, and it's strength, and it's divine femininity, and it's beautiful, and it's strong, and it's courageous, and it's uplifting, and it's just dope. Like, it's just really, really, really dope and really cool. So, but I kept hearing today when I was walking, and it's like, just dip your toe back in the water. I'm like, but it's cold. But just do it. Like, now you are so much stronger, because now you're like prepared. Now you understand. Like, you can see in the spirit, you can see in the physical. Like, you got it. Like, you and God are like besties, just running and skipping down the block, like holding hands, smiling at each other. It's just, like, just Rosie who's gonna fall down first. Like, you and God got this together. So it's so cool. But in the same sense, it's like, you deserve all the love that is out there for you. Like, you deserve all of it. Like, you deserve all the joy, all the laughters, all the forehead kisses, all the interlocks of hands, like, all the innocent looks. Like, you deserve all the dinner parties. You deserve all the galas and all the banquets and all the dances. You deserve that wedding. You deserve the children, the grandchildren. You deserve the wrinkles on your face. You deserve the scars from any type of birth that you give. Like, you deserve to birth nations. You deserve to birth ideas and structures and organizations and buildings. You deserve all of it. So why would you stop now? Just because someone who are counterfeits, who are a gang of counterfeits, who really are just broken-hearted individuals who really don't know how to Humpty Dumpty pull the pieces back together of themselves. So they decided to make a covenant with someone who never really had their best interests at heart. And they thought, I'm going to be able to reign in the dark kingdom, when the dark kingdom is just a falsified image. There is that's another video, but there's something totally darker than that is not spoken of. But in the same sense, you deserve all that you came down here for. So dip your toe back in, but now you have knowledge. Now you have strength. Now you have guidance. Now you have a spiritual team. Now you have a backing. Now you know what you're doing. You know how you're doing. You're loving yourself in your skin, no matter what tone or hue you are. You are you. You enjoying the scars. You're enjoying your wrinkles, your crow's feet. You're enjoying all parts of who you are, because it is okay for you to mature. It is okay for you to enjoy who you are becoming, because you're never ever going to stop becoming, because you're going to always keep evolving, because you're always going to keep maturing. And whichever stage of life that you're walking in, you're going to appreciate that, because you already appreciate where you're at now. So the more you love on yourself, and the more that you welcome and invite yourself at the healing, because now you've already healed and now you get it. Now you know the ways and the woes of the patterns. Now you are able to detect what is from God and what is not from God. So, appreciate the interlocking of you clasping your fingers around the matriarchs in your family, and appreciate you and God skipping up and down a beautiful meadow and appreciate the pain, because without all the pain and all the trauma, you wouldn't even have learned these lessons. And honestly, sometimes these individuals come down to catalyst you forward, so that you're able to catalyst them, so that they can be able to find a way to heal. And it's like I was saying before, like a slingshot is the trajectory of leaping you forward, because now you're ready, and you're doing the same for them, so now they can heal. And even if you don't end up with that same person, it's okay too, because what is for you is already out there. What is seeking you, what you're seeking is already seeking you. So there is no need to sit back and focus on past pain, unless there are lessons that you still feel that you haven't learned, in order for you to play it back like a Rolodex, But in the same sense, you're already healing. You could feel it. You could feel it within your body. Like, it makes me think about the Disney movie when the fairy godmother came down and she's like, boopity boopity boop boom, and then she started changing from her feet all the way up, and she's looking at herself as she's up, off the ground, and she's seeing her rags turn into royal garments. Like, it's okay. It's okay that you went through that. It's okay that you survived that, you thrived in it, and you found a way to make it work for you. You found a way to make sure your heart never went black. You found a way to make sure that your heart was never darkened with pain and sorrow, that it can never be fixed again or be revived. It's okay. And it's okay to dip your toe back in the water and understand that next time you go to dive in and leap forward off that cliff into love, it's okay. So if you at a place where you feel that you can love again, do that. Don't go into it thinking, oh, this person is just like this person. No, use your tools that's in your toolbox that God gave you now. Use that measuring tape. Does this person add up to what God has sent for me? Use that fine scissors to be able to cut through the riffraff to know that if this is true for you or not. Use your spiritual ears to make sure that you can hear whether or not this is just someone tickling your ears and not actually giving you the word. Use it to know that God has already provided you with a skill set. He's already provided you with tools in order for you to be able to know who is directly from Him and who's not from Him. So it is okay for you to love again, and for you to sit and think that you're not deserving of it is blasphemy on its own. Why would you not be deserving of that? Who cares how old you are? I watched a video on YouTube, and I think I mentioned this before, of this couple. It was a short, and I think I told my sister about it, but it's a video on there, and the woman's just sitting there with her children, and she's mature. You can see the beautiful salt pepper hair, and her children are filming, because I believe that this is just what moms are used to now because of this day and age. And her children look, some of them look like they might be still like older teenagers, like 17, 16. Some of them look like they're grown, like, 20, 30 years old children. And they're just all in the house at the table. And you could tell that this individual came in that I don't think he was I don't think he was their father. I'm not sure. They didn't really specify that. But either which way, he put the cake on the table. She's talking to the children. She's looking at the cake. And she's like, what does this say? And so she reads it, and he's asking to marry her. And so everybody at the thing, they're going crazy, and everybody, it's just beautiful. And she's smiling, he's smiling, she's saying yes. And then the next cut is them taking their pictures for their wedding. And they look amazing. And it's like, you don't know. You don't know. So who cares if there was a divorce? Who cares if he cheated on you, left you, did whatever he had to do to you? Like, who cares about what's going to happen to those people and what they've done? Like, they have to deal with what they dealt with. Like, that's just that. But why would you not feel that you're not deserving of love? You've healed. Like, you healed and you've learned. So why would you not be deserving of real true love? Like, that's just insane. Of course you're deserving of that. Even if you didn't even have to walk through that type of life where you experience that type of pain, but you experience the pains of the things that you was doing to your own self, how you were harming yourself in ways more than one because you couldn't understand how to deal with the pains of the things and the trauma that you have already went through. So now you're healing, you're evolving, you're no longer that individual. Now you're growing into something so much stronger and so much better. And not better in the sense that you're better than anyone else, but better in the sense that you're enjoying who you are and you're happy in your flesh. There's no need for you to run from your own flesh. There's no need for you to run from your own pain anymore, because now you're knowing how to walk through that fire. Now you're facing the fear of what the trauma has tried to do, which is to keep you, what the devil really wanted to do, which to hem you up and hold you hogtied so he can do whatever he want to do to you and turn you into a minion. But at the same time, now that you walk through that fire, now that you've been refining, you're pure as gold and you're white as snow, now you're good to go. Because now you know how to move out here. And if you come into that endeavor again, you know that that's okay, because in this life there's just lessons and levels. So you got this, and I love you. Bye.